Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaskar. Today we will be beginning with our next topic in our course on sales and distribution management, and this is lecture number 38, where we shall be speaking about channel systems, channel management, logistics and marketing channels. We shall be covering this topic in two parts, part 1 and part 2. Part 2 shall be covered in lecture number 39. Now, the different concepts that we are going to cover in this lecture and the subsequent lecture are channel formats, marketing channel systems, channel design, steps in channel design, the channel design process, the selection of channel systems, the various evaluation criteria, managing channel partners, channel management, and logistics and marketing channels. So, let us begin with our discussion on channel formats. Now, today companies have varied channel choices to opt from. We have discussed in the previous lecture the importance of a distribution channel or of a trade channel. We also call it the marketing channel, and we saw how companies could either go for a 0 level or 1 level or 2 level or 3 level channels, and we also spoke about the different channel flows. We have forward flows and backward flows, and both ways as well as reverse flows. Now, continuing with the same, when we talk of channel choices, we are actually referring to it in terms of store formats and non-store formats. Companies today can opt for either the physical stores or the brick and mortar stores, which could either be the organized formats or the unorganized kirana stores, and we have different kinds of formats like the departmental stores, convenience stores, specialty stores, discount stores, etc. We also have non-store formats, which is which does not typically relate to the traditional brick and mortar, but is more to do with direct marketing or direct selling or internet marketing. So, we have door to door selling, we have catalog marketing, we have telemarketing, we have home shopping, vending machines, and also the e-channels or the electronic channels through which consumers have access to goods and services produced by an organization. Companies today use hybrid channels, and what we see is varying channel formats where they use more than one channel. We have multiple channels. We also refer to them as hybrid channels, which are managed by the company itself or maybe outsourced, and the objective of such multiple channels is basically to maximize the reach of the product of the services to to customers maximally, so that the product and service is made available to as many as possible customers all over the country, all over the world, and the objective is to maximize reach and sell effectively and efficiently. Or the underlying factor here is that whatever is done has to be done optimally, and there has to be always the cost factor that needs to be taken into account, so that the marketer can reach the customer with reduced costs and can sell effectively and efficiently. Now, a channel format may be a producer driven format or a seller driven or a service driven, or it could be driven by others, and this decides as to who drives the channel system. When we talk of a producer driven channel, as the name goes, it is the producer or the manufacturer who drives the channel and who acts as the channel captain, and he makes all efforts to reach the customer on his own. For example, we have company owned retail stores and outlets, we have the CSAs and the brokers and the franchises. So, these are all channels which are driven by the producer, and we refer to them as producer driven channels, where it is the producer or the manufacturer who drives the channel and acts as the channel captain. Channel formats could also be seller driven. The channel members are used to reach the customers here, and these channel members are the traditional channel members like the stockists, the wholesalers, the retailers, the dealers, where we see that it is the channel or the trade channel is actually maintained and managed by the wholesalers or the retailers or the dealers who play a major role to ensure that the good or service is delivered to the end customer, whether it is with respect to B2B or B2C, and it reaches the customers from the manufacturer's end with major effort being put in by the sellers or by the channel members, be it the stockists or the distributors or the wholesalers or the retailers or the dealers, etc. Channel formats may also be service driven, where we refer to such members as facilitators, and they help the sellers in ensuring that the product reaches the end customer at the right time, at the right place. And the people who constitute the service driven format are the logistics service providers. Typically today we have the third party logistics which we hear of very often. There are transporters, there are warehouse owners and agencies, the CFAs, etc., who all constitute the service driven format, and who are facilitators who ensure that the end product reaches the customer. They help the sellers and the resellers. We also have other partners, other entities who may be driving the channel, and these for example through catalog marketing or through telemarketing, home shopping, multi-level marketing systems. Multi-level marketing systems, we also refer to it as network selling. So these are networks and these are formats which fall under the category of others. So a channel may be either driven by the producer or by the seller or by the service providers and the facilitators or by other entities. Now coming to the next topic under discussion, which is marketing channel systems. Now there are three types of marketing channel systems: the vertical marketing system, the horizontal marketing system, and the multi-channel marketing system. The vertical marketing system is also referred to as the VMS, and the horizontal marketing system is referred to as the HMS. And if we talk about vertical marketing system or horizontal marketing system or the multi-channel marketing system, these are newer formats which have emerged in the past few decades. Earlier, the producer, the manufacturer, that is the producer or the manufacturer, the wholesaler, the retailer, they all acted as separate entities, and each one of them acted independently, leading to lot of duplication of activities, also certain functions being performed by channel members who were not core competent in that or in those functions. And so it was realized that if the channel entities or the channel partners acted as a unified system, for example, if the three entities here, the company, the wholesaler, the retailer, acted as a unified system, they could benefit much more, because they could they would be able to utilize their core competencies in doing what they are supposed to do, and where they are core competent, and help each other reach the customer most effectively and efficiently. So it was realized that instead of operating as independent entities, the wholesaler, the retailer, and the manufacturer, they must act in a unified manner, and this would lead to efficiency and effectiveness of distribution, and it would also lead to better services being provided to the customer, who would be able to get the right product at the right time, at the right place, and in the right quantity. And this led to the birth of the vertical marketing system, where it was realized that it is more important, it would be more beneficial if the different entities or different channel players, for example the wholesaler, the retailer, and the manufacturer, acted in a unified manner. So that led to the birth of the vertical marketing system. Now, in the vertical marketing system, as opposed to the traditional marketing system, the producer or the manufacturer, the wholesaler, and the retailers operate collectively as a unified body, as a unified system. As I just said, traditionally they operated as different entities, and they operated as distinct entities who were more majorly concerned with their own goals and objectives, which were typically in terms of profit maximization and cost reduction. However, it was realized that they often got to do certain activities or certain tasks which were duplication of activities. They were doing activities where they were less efficient, and so it was realized that it would be better if they acted in a unified fashion, which led to the birth or the vertical marketing system. Now, in the vertical marketing system, the producer, wholesaler and retailer operate collectively, and this helps avoid conflicts between them. It helps avoid conflict of interests. It helps avoid conflict with respect to goals, with respect to roles and domain, and it also leads to non-duplication of activities, leading to efficiency and effectiveness of the distribution channel. Now, the three types of VMS or vertical marketing systems: the corporate, the administered and the contractual. In the corporate VMS, the production and distribution are under single ownership, which means that the producer not only produces, but he also distributes and sells. For example, oil companies where exploration is done by them, processing is done by them, and many of them have their own petrol stations as well. So, this is a kind of a corporate VMS. The second is an administered VMS, where one channel dominates and coordinates the distribution activities. The dominating body or the dominating channel here may be channel member here may be the producer, he may be the wholesaler or the retailer, and he commands over the others with respect to product, with respect to assortment, with respect to pricing, with respect to promotions, etc. We see here that strong corporate brands can exercise control over wholesalers and retailers with respect to pricing, with respect to promotion, and the smaller retailers bow down to the wishes of the reputed companies and their brands, because they would want the reputed brand to be a part of their assortment in the store. So, this is a kind of a administered VMS. The third is a contractual system, where independent firms at different levels of production and distribution integrate their programs. The producer, the wholesaler, the retailer, they enter into contracts with each other and work together. This could manifest in the form of franchisees or retailer cooperatives or wholesale sponsored chains. So, this is what we mean by the vertical marketing system. The next is the horizontal marketing system, where companies into unrelated businesses come together and take advantage of an existing marketing opportunity, and this would mean that the two companies which are absolutely into unrelated businesses decide to share the resources and decide to work together. For example, we often find coffee shops in libraries and reading rooms. We find departmental stores and convenience stores at petrol stations. There is absolutely no connection between a coffee shop and a book and a library or a reading room, or there is no connect between a departmental store and a petrol station, yet they decide to work together, because a person who actually decides to go to fill petrol in his car at night at a petrol station would also get down and buy bread and cereal for breakfast. So, in this way, not only does the petrol station get business, but also the departmental store will be able to gain some business. Similarly, a person may think that he has to buy a soap or a toothpaste for the next morning, and as he decides to go to that departmental store, he may also decide to get his petrol filled, which he would not have to do the next day during morning time when there is huge amount of rush. So, in this way, both, whether the customer first goes to has a prioritized want for petrol or for toiletries and cosmetics, either way both of them would benefit out of this opportunity. So, this is what we mean by the horizontal marketing system. We also have something called the multi-channel marketing system, where a combination of channels is used by companies to reach out to the customers, generally used in situations where company deals with a large number of unrelated products. It caters to different kinds of markets and segments, and it caters to different market segments with the same products also, and customers are geographically scattered. For example, companies deal with both B2B and B2C and through their different channels and through their different channel formats, and this leads to marketing and distribution efficiency and effectiveness. So, in the case of multi-channel marketing system, a combination of channels is used by companies to reach out to customers. The same company may be dealing with B2B, the same company may be dealing with B2C, with their broad product assortment, which may be related or unrelated products, and it caters to different market segments, and where with the same products also, and and especially in the case where customers are geographically scattered, multi-channel marketing marketing systems really help. Now, let us come to the next topic, which is channel design. Now, what are the factors which affect a channel design? One is with respect to the product assortment and the nature of the product, the market coverage in terms of width and depth, long-term commitments to channel partners, customer service levels, affordability and channel control requirements of the company and its products. So, let us discuss each one of these subsequently. Now, one of the major factors which affects the choice of a channel is product assortment and nature of the product. Not all products can be sold via the same channel. Channels also vary with respect to offering service to customers, whether it is with respect to time and speed also. So, here we see that product assortment and the nature of the product has a is a major factor to determine the design of a channel. Similarly, the depth and width of the market. Channels vary with respect to with respect to their ability to reach the audience or to target segment, and internet today has been realized as a means for reaching the large number of reaching a large number of customers today all across the country, all across the world. Long-term commitments of channel partners is also another factor which affects channel design choice, and what is important here is in terms of the terms and conditions between channel partners, which can vary. Also, the long-term orientation is something which creates a win-win situation for both. So, companies always look for channel partners who will be able to provide a long-term commitment, so that it can be a win-win situation for both the company and its channel partners. Customer service levels. Channels also vary with respect to their capacity to offer services to customers. The more the touch points, the easier for consumers to reach the sellers. So, this is again a vital factor. Affordability of the channel with reference to channel costs has to be taken into account, because the channel cost should not inflate the overall cost of the product. So, it has to be kept in mind that the benefits that one derives through a channel are actually much more than the cost that would be incurred to manage the channel. So, the channel costs have to be kept in mind, and this is again a major factor which will drive a decision, which will affect a decision for a channel design. Channel control requirements of the company and its products also are a major factor which affect channel design. Activities with reference to the distribution channel might be outsourced or owned depending upon the needs and requirements of the organization. So, all of these are factors which affect the channel design choice by an organization. Now, what are the steps in channel design? There are a series of steps which are involved in designing of channels. First of which involves deciding on customer needs, specifying goals and objectives of the channel, identifying channel MEM systems which will help achieve goals and objectives, calculating probable costs of operating a channel system, comparing and evaluating the available alternatives, and then finalizing the best channel alternative. So, let us begin with a discussion on some of the issues which play a very important role in channel design. Customer needs. Now, what do we mean by customer needs? Customer needs here refer to the lot size which a customer would prefer buying, or the waiting time, or the kind of product assortment and variety that he needs, and the kind of place utility that he would require. Now, when we talk of a lot size here refers to the most suitable package size which a consumer can or should purchase at a particular point. The waiting time refers to the time gap between the time when a person realizes that he requires a product to the time when he actually makes a purchase of the same. So, ideally the waiting time for a customer must be 0. Variety refers to the kind of product and brand assortment, the package sizes, etc. And the place utility here refers to the place where a buyer would want to purchase from. Convenience and accessibility are major factors here which play a very important role as far as the customer's decision to buy from an outlet is concerned. So, accessibility and convenience are two factors which each and every customer would keep in mind, and this is something which a marketer or an organization must also pay attention to. The second thing which we will discuss here is the channel design components. Talking about the channel design components, there is a commercial part and the logistic part. The commercial part here refers to the revenue generation, and the logistic part refers to the physical delivery of the product to the end customer. After sales support in the form of service is extremely essential, extremely important, because subsequent business from a customer depends upon the after sales support and the after sales experience he has from a company and from a product. The different parts need to be taken care of by different people in an organization. So, there has to be a team which takes care of the sales and the commercial part. There has to be a team in the organization which takes care of the logistics. There has to be a team which takes care of the after sales support, and so the channel design components must ensure that there is a commercial part, a logistics part, and an after sales support. The third is with respect to channel design issues, which would be in identifying what are the various tasks and activity and who shall perform them. What is the task and activities relationship to the service levels required, how many channel members are required, and what is the relationship between different categories of channel members, which is with respect to the manufacturer, the wholesaler, the retailer, the stockist, etc., and what shall be the roles and responsibilities, how shall the channel members be evaluated, and what shall be their remuneration. So, these are certain issues which need to be taken care of when companies decide on their channel design. Now, coming to the channel design process, there are 4 different stages of the channel design process: segmentation, positioning, focus, and development. Now, first is segmentation. It is all about identifying clusters of customers who are homogeneous within and heterogeneous outside. They share similar needs, wants, preferences, and must be served by different kinds of channel members who are specialized to cater to distinct segments. So, it is very important that companies identify their segments and then have sales teams and have sales personnel who are specialized in dealing with distinct segments. This would help the sales manager in selecting appropriate sales teams and sales and channel members. It would also help the sales managers in selecting the right kind of dealers, distributors, stockists, and other channel partners who would be able to serve the distinct segments in the most effective and efficient manner. So, segmentation helps the sales managers in selecting channel partners for serving the different segments. The second is positioning. Now, at this stage, channel elements are identified and positioned to service the customers by creating a best fit with the customer's needs. The channel elements and their skills, abilities, experience, infrastructure, etc., is taken into account, and the customer service levels, customers' requirements, etc., are also taken into account, and a best fit is attempted at so that the channel elements who are identified and positioned to service the customers best fit with the needs and requirements of the customers. So, decisions with respect to the type of channels, number of intermediaries are taken both with respect to the type of channels and the number of intermediaries. Also, by positioning channels in the right manner, sales managers can attract customers towards purchase. An ideal fit to service in best possible ways by taking decisions with respect to number of channels, the type of channels, helps the organizations in the big way. So, an ideal fits to service in best possible ways by taking decisions like the number of channels and the type of channels can help organizations in major ways. Focus. The third stage here is focus. At this stage, segments with which the company wants to deal with are identified, and this is very important because a company may not be able to deal with all the segments due to constraints with respect to manpower or with respect to finances. So, keeping in mind the different segments, the company would decide as to which segment it would like to cater to, and this is particularly important when companies are not able to deal with all the segments due to constraints, be it physical, be it financial, or be it manpower. Focus also helps organizations in making best use of its resources. Finally, we have development, where the channel system is finally executed. The channel designs of competitors could be analyzed, and benchmarking techniques could be used to select the best channel system and the best channel alternative, and the execution of the channel system becomes easy for a company when the channel systems are already exist and are being modified. Of course, when they are going to be executed for the first time, it is difficult. So, the execution of a channel becomes easy for an organization when channel systems are not being executed for the first time. The next we come to evaluation of channel systems and the criteria which are used to evaluate channel systems. Channel alternatives are evaluated and channel design is finalized after deciding upon the kind of segments to be served and the customer service levels required. The various criteria that need to be taken into account while evaluating the different channel alternatives and channel systems are cost, ability to manage and control, adaptability, and the volume and range of products to be handled. So, first let us discuss the cost factor. An organization must be able to determine if the current sales force which it has will be capable of handling the distribution of products or not. In case it can be done by the company itself with little expansion, companies must opt for this, otherwise companies must look to other options, and the customer needs and service levels must be taken into consideration. It is noteworthy that every channel comes with a cost, and it must be ensured that sales and customer service benefits must exceed the cost of managing a channel. A channel which is the least costly must be selected. Second, the ability to manage and control. The organization must be able to assess the kind of control that it would want to exercise over its channel partners, and the kind of roles, responsibilities it would want its channel partners to perform, and the kind of obligations that they must meet. Operating rules with respect to coverage of the market, calls to be made, a number of calls and productivity of calls, terms of offering credit between parties, displays, promotions, investments and cooperation in promoting point of purchase display, etc., must be clearly specified, and the channel partners must be must be properly informed about all of these rules and all of these policies and procedures, so that control can be exercised in a more efficient and effective manner. The third is adaptability. The partnering channel must not only help the company in managing the present sales and help the company with the current product range and with the current forecast, but it must also work towards growing future sales as well. So, channel members must be ready to adapt to new environmental conditions, whether it is with respect to changing marketing conditions, and they must adopt proper measures with respect to introduction of new products, dumping of old products by the organization, addition of new territories, new segments, pushing sales when prices are increased, offering additional services for customer retention, handling customer complaints, and dealing with customers in case of price changes. The next is the volume and range to be handled. So, here what we are referring to is that the channel members must have enough resources and infrastructure base to support the company when the volume of sales increases. This is very important when the company is planning to expand its businesses, whether it is with respect to new product launch or entering into new territories. So, the channel partners must supplement the efforts of the company in reaching a wider audience, a wider segment with new products. So, there are other factors also which must be taken into consideration, factors which relate to market requirements, be it customer service expectations or competitors, or product distinctiveness which relates to physical characteristics of the product, or company characteristics like the size of the company, its market share, or the nature of product handled and the product mix, the financial status and resources, or it could be also the channel members' abilities and infrastructure, environmental factors, etc., which need to be taken care of while evaluating channel alternatives and deciding on particular channel system. Next we come to managing channel partners. Now, when we talk of managing channel partners, we actually refer to selecting them, training them, motivating them and evaluating them. So, it is to start with selecting channel partners, it is highly important to select the right number and the right kind of channel members. Issues with respect to adequacy or quantity, that is the number, is an important issue. The other important part is the appropriateness or the quality or the competence of the channel members. So, how can organizations find suitable channel partners? One is through their own sales force team, where the company sales force works in distinct sales territories in the field, and they can identify and look for people who would be willing to work as channel partners with the company. Companies could also advertise in newspapers and in the press. So, advertisements must contain relevant details in terms of the expectations from channel members, their roles and responsibilities, infrastructure and resources required, as well as the financial status, and the offer must be very lucrative so as to attract distributors with very good performance records of the past. Existing channel members can also be a source for finding suitable channel partners. References from existing channel partners can be used, and this is a very inexpensive method, as background checks can be easily done. And of course, the channel the competitors channel partners can also be used, especially if this particular company or the competitor company are not particular about exclusive distribution. The selection criteria for selecting channel partners can be qualitative as well as quantitative. Qualitative is with respect to flexibility and adaptability of the channel partner, his reputation in the market and business, image, goodwill, attitude, commitment and willingness to help customers. The quantitative measures could be the range of product handled and whether similar product lines handled as those which are being dealt with by the company, infrastructure and location, related experience, financial status and solvency, as well as investment capabilities, market coverage, sales volume earned in the past few years, customer base, new customers earned in the past few years. All of these could be measures or could be criteria on the basis of which channel members can be evaluated before they are actually chosen as channel partners. The training of channel partners is extremely crucial, and typically because the channel members represent the company, hence they must be trained to behave in a manner which would be as per the likes of the company. So, the training programs here could be both initial and continual sales training programs, and they could be these training programs should be held for both the channel member and his sales personnel. So, it could be a training program for dealers and distributors as well as their salesmen, and training could be both on the job as well as the classroom training, and the content must include inputs on product and product lines, pricing policies, promotion policies, major customers, delivery and installation policies, after sales services, record keeping and report submissions, as well as ability to deal with frequently asked questions. To keep the to keep the channel members motivated, companies must use both monetary and non-monetary incentives. So, motivating channel members is extremely crucial, which we have seen and discussed in the past. Monetary monetary incentives could be in the form of rewards, commissions, trade promotions, and non-monetary incentives could be in the form of sales contests and meetings, appreciation, recognition, certificates and honors, training programs, etc. Specific measures that companies must take to encourage channel members to sell more is by sharing promotional risks with the company and using promotional methods, both of which will help the organization in motivating its channel members. Incentives may be paid to channel members, special deals for prices can be offered to dealers, which would induce them to keep large inventories, and which they would later push them to sell more to their customers so that the stocks can be cleared fast. Dealer incentives should be linked with the sales volume targets to push sales. Similarly, incentives may be offered to sales staffs of channel partners, where special incentive programs can be created for the sales personnel of the distributors and the dealers. Slabs can be created for them, wherein with more sales, more incentives can be offered. Also, non-monetary benefits like paid holidays and trips for family, etc., can be used to stimulate them to sell more. Of course, incentives can be provided to consumers as well in the form of coupons, free samples, and other sales promotional measures, which can stimulate end consumers to buy the product. We come to evaluation of channel members. Companies must evaluate their distribution network and channel partners for assessing the effectiveness and efficiency from time to time with respect to achievement of sales volume targets, outlet productivity, service selling, developmental selling, order placement and inventory management, customer relationship management, etc. So, this would help execute motivational programs and also give insights into training programs to be designed and implemented. Evaluation will also help decide on the rewards and incentives to be given to the channel partners and to the sales personnel of the channel of the trade channel members, and evaluation acts as a vital tool also in deciding about modifying the distribution channel networks, as well as whether relationship with existing channel members must be continued or there is a need for termination of relationships and beginning of a relationship with a new channel partner. So, with this we come to an end of our lecture on channel systems and on channel management, and we shall be discussing the subsequent topics in the next lecture, which is part 2. I hope you found this lecture beneficial. Thank you.